Good morning, everyone. It's October 18th, the morning market rundown. Dive into these key price levels and potential scenarios. By the way, if you like these videos and you're watching, please like and subscribe. And just a heads up, I'm not going to be able to post any videos until after next Thursday. I'm going to Granada for this Oktoberfest event. So we have the SPY daily time frame on the left, 30-minute on the right. We have this barcode action that we broke out of in this blue box, meaning we just got this really tight range and we started to break out of this. So we key levels that we're monitoring if we start to get it to climb for the longer time and would be anticipating some type of support or would be looking to see some type of support is this 576, 573, 570 level. Maybe even a deeper pullback into this 565. And we're quantifying that by this VWAP from this pivot at 576, where former resistance could potentially act as support. The 20-day moving average at this 573. And we could see this VP cluster and this VP shelf that could be an area of support as well, down in this 570 area, 566. And just underneath that, we have the 50-day moving average that's rising. So if you even wanted to see another further, and from the handoff from the VWAP of the year, just underneath the 50-day moving average, it's this 555. So we got some longer term key level support levels out of the way. Let's dive more into the intermediate time frame and talk about what happened yesterday and how it looks on our mapped out scenario. So in our scenario here, we could see here that this was our anticipated VWAP for the day, right? We talked about a potential scenario where look for it to get trapped underneath the daily VWAP, and we talked about potential level at this 582.33, which was the week to date VWAP, and this VP shelf right here. And it's exactly where we pulled back to. So we had this anticipated VWAP, which was this failure swing, this swing high. In hindsight, ideally, I probably should have put it here, and then you have very more your key level of support here at this 582. So, and then potentially this could continue to be our guardrail. So, this was our anticipated week to date VWAP, and we talked about if price was to start breaking below this 582, what would be our potential scenario? So let's put that anticipated for the break of 582 under there, and we'll just dive into that real quickly. So if we fail to break above and reclaim this 584, then maybe this price fills this VP, and we start to get longs trapped and grind them out, and we'll see the week to date VWAP and this previous VWAP and the 5-day moving average all start to act as resistance and breaking this 582 for a further decline to those potential levels we discussed in the beginning of the video. 575, 574 here. Let's get rid of this. Not 575. I like this 574, this week to date VWAP area, where there's a clear area where this previous resistance up in here could then start to act support. This is where where we could start to fall back into that we talked about on the daily time frame. We'll go into pre-market hours now just to get a view what it looks like. So here is our VWAP we said yesterday, which is our 2-day. That could act as a guardrail. So if we move this over, and now we'd be looking to see this set up for a long scenario like this. So we just move this over, move these guys over. and maybe we get something here. So like we talked about, this VWAP from that pivot, that low, and the week to date VWAP is our guardrail here. So here's our dump, here, all our dip. Here's our strength. We get our consolidation. All right, so we'll get rid of this because we could see that's the price. We'll get rid of that. We got our guardrail that we talked about. We shrunk and moved it over, and you can see it's still acting as some resistance in the pre-market. Now, we're looking to see if we could break back up in this area, get some consolidation, and then we could set up a higher low. If this breaks up, pulls back in, this could be our higher low here. If this breaks back in, pulls back, or we could set up a higher low down here. And then we have evidence still above the 5-day, above the week to date. The daily VWAP will be above the 2-day VWAP. And like I said, there could be some type of compression in here that fuels us up into this 585, 586, and then maybe continue to push into all-time highs. And with that being said, you'd be risking about, a third of a percent to make potentially, there's a 1-to-1 at the previous neckline, a little less than 1-to-1. 1-to-1 is above, basically into the double top, and then if the trend continues to go, so it's about a third of a percent to de-risk at about a third of a percent to almost a half, and a potential for this to continue. And then we talked about this, if we break down this gold line, the week to date VWAP, and this daily VWAP continues to act as resistance, then monitor for further decline. And if you wanted to attack this aggressively, breaking that, once you kind of break that 581, and we might see like a higher low up in that area, or somewhere maybe in this area. So it could be potential like almost a 0.5% to fall back down into, that month to date VWAP is 1.25%, 1.33%. So QQQ, we got this. You could see this on this previous sell off on Wednesday. This VWAP from the gap up was an area of interest, and this 20-day moving average, and we got some strength here. So we're barcoding right now. Let's put a VWAP right here, sync that and layout, and that's right where we're kind of trading. And let's dive into this and clean a lot of this up now at this point. So let's just get rid of some of that and just talk about our map. So we had that price up, said we didn't know if this is going to keep going or to monitor and see if we reject the daily VWAP, which that's what we did here. Was broke under the VWAP, was actually reclaimed it, looked like it was about to really get tight and get going. So this failed on us yesterday. That's exactly what we wanted. And that's managing risk. To me, I'd rather be in that than wishing and hoping it comes back and just play it again when it sets up, taking the hard, disciplined approach. So what we have here now is the pre-market level 493, that coinciding with the week-to-date VWAP and that 2-day VWAP. So potential scenario for today is maybe we get this rally, pulls back in here, and wants to continue pushing up, and we get a stop, potential stops up in this area. So this 2-day VWAP will start to be support, and that daily VWAP can be support as well. And we rally up to it, and it pulls back, and our daily VWAP looks something like this now, while our 2-day looks like this. And then, so it rallies up, and these are pulling back and being support. And that could push us up into this 496. Or we just have a potential scenario we rally up, start to break underneath this 2-day VWAP, and all these bands that are coinciding, and we still have this key level here, 490. But you could see as we bring in some more data, once we start to break this 490, 492 area, can maybe anticipate the break of 490, and with the risk of, be having a higher low up here, 494. So it's $2, and that's $2 to 490, cover into the round number, or even a potential fall into 488, 484. So I went over a lot today, trying to keep these concise, but also really like to follow up on the mapped scenarios and really dig into the price analysis of these VWAPs. Hopefully this was helpful.